Testing. Okay, cool. That actually works. Alright, so guys, I've got a couple of poems here. We'll see how long they let me stay up here. I've got several. I just printed off everything I had. We'll start with probably one of the first poems that I wrote. It's from my junior year of high school English class. We basically sat outside on the grass. We told our teacher, we're not having class inside. She said no. And we said, yes, we're going outside. So we went outside. But she made an assignment that we had to write down whatever we thought. No speaking, no talking to friends, no texting. Just sit outside, think, and then write. And we had to turn in whatever we wrote outside. So I went through a few drafts, but this is basically what I got down. And it's a poem titled, In a Field of Grass by a Forest of Pine. In a field of grass by a forest of pine, with a notebook and a pen of mine, I listen to the breeze as it rustles a few leaves on some gnarled old trees. I hear a bird and a buzzing bee, and I find that ants are crawling all over me. I'm sitting in a field of grass so green, and seeing birds with feathers to preen. I look up at the sky and the clouds that are floating by. So peaceful is this day that we all can say, today was a perfect day. I pick up my pen and start to write then. I took down the thoughts in my head, and here's just what they said. In a field of grass by a forest of pine, with a notebook and pen of mine, I heard the prettiest tweet from a bird so sweet. I saw a fly as it zoomed by, then a helicopter roared, just as I got bored. In the cool morning air, and with the weather so fair, I'm sitting all day, and I could dream all the way, from now until noon, or from here to the moon. As I sit and I say, today was a perfect day. The end. So basically that was an English assignment. I had never intended for it to end up the way it did, but it seems ever since then I've gotten into a peculiar habit of whenever I feel strong emotion, I fall into rhyme. It's completely unintentional. I don't even realize I'm doing it most of the time. However, when I've gone back and looked, yes, it took me a while to realize what I was doing. People actually called me out and said, are you doing this intentionally? I said, doing what? They said, rhyming. I said, no, not at all. So this is actually a poem. I went through depression for about a year and a half. And in that time, a coping strategy of mine was actually writing poetry, because depression is very intense emotion. And this was sort of a poem, a lot of mine are, sort of just emotion and trying to understand what people feel and trying to put that into words, because oftentimes that's a problem. Silence. No one knows. You never say anything. And my poetry was a way of saying something, not necessarily to you or to my parents or to anyone who was around me, but I got words on the paper, and this is something from that time. It's called Ode to the Broken. To all the hurting broken souls out there, to all the men and women fair, and all the children who are drowning in despair, I want you to know that you are not alone. We hear you moan when you groan, cry and scream, and know how fitfully you dream. We are here for you, to see you through from dark to light. We stand and fight by your side until the battle's tide is turned for the best. So, till then, we shall not rest. Your pain so real, so sharp we feel like a blade to the back. To us, it's a personal attack. It cuts us to the core and drives us to fight the injustice forevermore. We are men and boys, girls with poise, women with strength, and all who go to such great length to know you're safe, happy, and well. Your names we know not, but with our souls we have bought the chance to bring you home again, so that then you may tell the tale from here to Yale that hope is not yet lost, that even freedom has its cost. Price was paid in blood, word, and deed, by men and women and children who heed the meaning of an old code whose great mystery sowed in their head and in their heart the seeds of a brand new start. Chivalry is not dead. It lives here and there and in your head. As long as we remember, live and breathe, there still exists the chance to believe in good things, people, and faith, in light against darkness and destructive hate. So when you look for that deadly pill, that razor that sits on the sill, and when your eyes fill with tears, sadness, and grief, may this poem and ode fill you with belief that somewhere, out there, people still care. So don't you dare give up just yet. Don't be so upset. Things can change, and when they do, you'll be glad that you're the one who is still alive to see the dawn of that new day, and are still able to say, life's not so bad. But you've got to understand that life's a mix of things both happy and sad. We're here for you. Look for us. We're the knights of the heart and mind. We live to serve the people of the world, to speak true words, to protect the weak from those who'd abuse them, to give to those who have less than we, even if all we have is our smile to offer them. We are not so lost from time as books may suggest. We're the ones who hold the door and give to the poor. We speak out against the tyranny of the world. We choose to live with nothing more than the belief that doing good for its own sake is a reward enough for us. Respect men and women as partners, as equally capable members of society, to reach out to any and all who lose hope, who need to smile, who are hungry, abused and used. We are here for you. All you need to do is believe. And if you ever need a little help, look for us. We're here to help you. So that's the end of that one. I don't know how long they will let me hang out up here. Let's see. Okay, so that one was a little bit less emotional, I think, and more just a statement. Now, this one's probably a bit more from like an emotional side of what was going through my head. I don't think I actually gave it a name, but I rarely do. They're usually very, very disingenuous. I just take the first line and hold it. So, the days grow short and the winds grow cold. This wolf, day by day, is growing old. Fall has come and it remains to be seen if fate continues its tricks to be mean. There's another gray winter of fears, one filled with tears, lurked just out of sight, waiting for him to give up the fight. Or will this winter be one of love and calm, and one without a single qualm? Is it the cold of desolation that awaits, or is it warmth and friendship a part of his fate? He knows not what the future will bring, nor whether or not this winter's icy winds will sting. But come snow or fire, he must push through the mire. Destiny awaits, and no one knows the fates of man or beast, to say the least. We just carry on and live through to see the next day's dawn. That's all we can do, all that the world can expect from us, to fight with or without a fuss. To fight for the dawn of the next day, because no matter how dark the night, no matter how hard the fight, time moves on and the dawn will come, not necessarily for all, but certainly for some. Hope is a light that burns in the night. Some it guides and some it burns, and others it spurns. But hope lives on in the heart of the bold, no matter how young, no matter how old. Wolves can bleed too, sometimes more than you, standing tall and proud, calling out strong and loud, to friends and foes, to those who are happy and those with woes, calling out the battle cry that sets hearts out free to fly. The future is not years ahead, nor is it the dreams of the dead. The future is every next breath you breathe, is every memory you make to leave behind you for others to learn from when your time is totally through and utterly done. The future is every moment you have yet to live on, every breath left to take from now till the next dawn. It is hard and it will hurt. It will be long, and sometimes we will be covered in dirt. But falling down and hitting the ground is not failure. It is not the end, for salvation lays right around the bend. If we only knew, if we only tried and realized we don't have to die, by our word and by our deed, this world will heed, remembering us as the ones who stood for the right and never gave up the fight. In stories and songs, our memories will live long. It is in this way that we continue to live on day to day, both nearby and far away. We never die as long as others remember that it was us who had the guts to try. And rather than take up more of your time, I think I'll give up the floor to the next person. I hope you guys enjoyed some of these poems.